Hello YouTube, this is Murray Carter from CarterCutlery.com. Today I'm going to talk to you briefly about convex edges and how we can get good convex edges with our grinding stones. Now the most common kinds of convex edges are the kind that come on European style chef's knives, where the grind, the secondary edge, starts at the spine or the back of the blade and continues all the way down to the cutting edge. Sometimes there's a distinguished line down there called the primary edge, and sometimes it flows all into one cutting edge. The other kind is a convex edge that we would put on a camp knife or a hunting knife, where you really wanted it to be a really strong and durable cutting edge. Now, the key word to our demonstration today is observation. What we're going to do is we're going to do some grinding on the stone, and then we're going to carefully observe what it is that we've done and then adjust accordingly. But there's a technique, a rocking technique here that I want to share with you today, which is the key point. So moving to our stones, the first thing we do with one of these knives, after we've decided in our mind, according to the third step of 6 steps of sharpening, is, what do we want to do to the blade? Do we want to thin it down, or is there an edge we have to fix? If we've decided we want to thin down the edge geometry, the overall edge geometry, then this is how we can do it. We can put it on our rough stone. This happens to be a 1000 grit stone, and you can sharpen different areas. And my goal here is to remove some metal down near the primary edge, but right behind it. Okay, now I want you to come and look at this diagram with me. This is the kind of edge geometry that is represented by this kitchen knife here. And you can see the knife is going to look like this in a cross section. This is the spine of the blade, this is the cutting edge or the primary edge, and as you can see, the edge has this whole secondary edge has curvature to it. And so what I've been doing right now with careful observation is I've been removing some material in this area here. Now, once you've removed some material in there, then you can move your way up through careful observation, carefully watching the scratches on the blade, and you might remove more material up in this area, you see? And thus, you continue on the whole length. Once you're sure you've removed adequate material from each section, then you're going to go back to your stone and then do this motion that blends it all in. Now pay careful attention to what we're going to do. We're going to start with the spine of the blade flat against your sharpening medium, and as I drop back, I start to rock it up. I'm exaggerating this motion a little bit for the viewers there, because I don't think I would actually in reality want to raise it that high. Maybe just that much. So pay attention to my right hand here, because it's the one that's controlling this rocking motion. By rocking that blade as I bring it back ever so slightly, I'm going to remove material from the full surface of that. Now, how do I know I'm removing material from where I want to? Careful observation. I'm going to look to see where the scratches are on the blade. Don't worry about the scratches. We'll take care of those in a second. Now, what you don't want to do, pay careful attention, what you don't want to do is rock this up to such an exaggerated level that you've ruined the handiwork that you're working towards by making that primary edge way too obtuse. It's a slight rocking motion, not exaggerated like I just showed you. Now, once you're satisfied with having thinned out both sides, and you can do this going away from you this way, or you can do it ambidextrously. Once you're satisfied, if you want a finely distinguished primary edge, then what you're going to do is raise your blade up to whatever degree you want that primary edge, roughly based on experience, and then you can grind in your new primary edge. Now for the scratches, what you do is you switch to your finer abrasive. In this case it's a 6,000 stone, doesn't have to be, it could be 3, 2, 6, 8, 10, doesn't matter. Then you're just going to go over with that same slight rocking motion over the whole blade. See how I'm working from the heel towards the tip? Do again. Now what are our key words here? Careful observation, right? So after you've done this once or twice, take a look. See if you're removing those deep scratches that you put in with the rough stone. See if it's getting all nicely polished up the way you want it. Make sure you're not rocking that primary edge at too high to get it too obtuse. So that's one way we can do the European style chef's knife, where the secondary edge is convex almost all the way down to the primary edge. Now, another phenomena is when you have a knife like this. So I have a little neck knife here that a customer sent me back for sharpening. This is one of my knives. And see, what has happened here is the knife, when it was delivered, would have had a slightly finer edge geometry, something approximating these dotted lines. But through repeated sharpenings of the primary edge only, you can see that the blade has worked its way back up into thicker steel, making it just a little bit chunky for fine cutting tasks. Now I have two options with the resharpening and regrinding of this knife. And I'm going to draw one option here on the left hand side and the convex option on the right hand side. The one option, and generally the preferred option, is to spend 10 or 15 minutes and regrind this secondary edge so that you've effectively raised the shinogi, which is this line here. There's your cross section of your blade. You're going to raise that to this new location here, thus thinning out the primary edge, and you're going to do that on both sides. That's option number one. Okay. Now, option number two is to change this whole geometry into a convex grind by predominantly removing material in this section. In fact, we'll draw our new grind. It's going to look kind of like that. That's supposed to be a curved line. I can't draw recurved lines very well. So you can see the majority of the material that has to be removed is going to be in this section in here. So that's where I'm going to start, is removing the corner here between the secondary edge and the primary edge. And that looks like this on the stones. Again, our key words: careful observation. Grind it and look. Did I remove material from the area I was wanting to, which was down in here? I'm starting with just a very, very almost flat motion without too much rocking, but freehand there's always some motion. I move to the areas that need more grinding, and then I come back with that. See, pay attention to my right wrist here. See how I'm getting that slight rocking in there? And that will blend everything in nice and convex. Careful observation. Okay, I have the edge geometry I want now. Switch it out to the finer stone and polish everything up. And as I'm polishing that whole surface, so there's a slight rocking here in my strong hand that's holding the knife handle. And then the process continues until you're satisfied with the look, the polish, the thickness, and of course your primary edge. So I hope that gave you some insight in how you can grind convex edges on your sharpening stones and why you might do that for different applications. This is Murray Carter with CarterCutlery.com. Thanks for watching, and God bless you all.